Beautiful. So I was not going to record doing this pecan log. This is a long one. I don't even know how long this is. I think it's like 12 feet, 14 feet. So now I'm wondering, so let's go ahead and measure this sucker. Oh, okay, it's almost 11 feet. Damn, I was way off, huh? I thought this thing was 16 foot. I guess it's just 12 feet. But yeah, so we're gonna cut this. This ought to give us some good long lumber. I don't know what I'll do with it, but we're gonna cut it anyways and get it to drying. This log right here comes to me from a guy named Jamie Caggiano. He's the fire chief over in the city of Gaffney. He had a big pecan farm, I guess. I don't know, hundreds of trees. And when Helene went through, it knocked them all down. So he gave me a bunch of them. More than half of those, probably 90% of those are pecan trees. And here's one of the longest ones. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. Just so you can see, it's right around 13 inches wide on this side. In the middle, right here, it gets really thick. That is about 19 inches almost. And then it comes back down to about 15 inches on that side. A little bit crooked, but that's okay. All right, so I have cut this first part off. I'll use this for charcuterie boards most likely, but I hit something and it stopped the whole saw about midway, so I need to check, which I didn't do to start off with. I need to get my metal detector right in here and see if I hit something. Oh, you notice the colors in that? Didn't that look great? Look at that. Wow. Some pretty pecan. Look at that stuff. Damn. All right, let's see what this looks like wet. Oh, wow. Look at that. Beautiful. It's got that spalton going in it. Oh, yeah. Since I never came back and told you there was no metal in here, I used my metal detector, a little wand detector. But this cut right here, although it looks like it's going really fast because I have it sped up 4 times, it's actually going to take me about 1 minute and 47 seconds to get it completed. You may also notice that the cameras are getting a little wonky, and that's because it's 95 degrees out and they're all starting to shut down already. Look at that wood. Wow. That looks great. I'm really childish at heart, and that last comment I apologize for, because all I want to say is that's what she said. Now that I have the top part cut off, I need to flip it over on its side. We're going to make a cant out of this. Technically, it's already a cant, but I know what a lot of you non-woodworking people are asking, what the hell's a cant? Well, a cant is a partially processed log that has been squared off on one or more sides, making it ready to be cut into smaller dimensional lumber, and that's what we're going to do here. I want you to take notice of those triangles on the ends of the logs. What they're doing is holding that log in the center of the tracks. You'll see later when I take those off, the logs kind of move a little bit because they're not super completely flat. That just leaves these little nubs that I'm pointing at right here to keep the log steady and not move. And in the next couple scenes, you'll see it'll start moving a little bit, and I have to adjust the log back just to get the wheels by it. Now, I could use the little yellow dogs over to the right hand of the screen, but I just don't have them set up right now. You'll notice as I put this log on here, it's gonna be a little bit of cattywampus, and you can see it moving a little bit. And it really shows as I start hitting it with the blade. The blade's gonna jerk the log over a little bit. As I start running the blade in it, you can see right here, it pulls the log over. I have to reach down and pull the log back. The biggest reason I think this is happening right now is you look into the middle of the log, I don't have it against that little nub, which helps register the log to the side right there and keep it from slamming either way. Once I'm done with this cut, we're going to flip it over onto the side that's facing us, and we're going to start cutting out a few boards. I think they're probably 8 to 10 inches wide. You know, being in the military, we always had to make a lot of quick decisions. You know, things would happen and we'd have to pivot and move in a new direction. And I found that very helpful in woodworking, as in this one right here, this decision right here. I take this off and I realize that I want a wider board, so I put it back on its side. But again, I forget to push it against those little nubs, so it's going to have a little bit of issues. And that's the same thing in the military. You make decisions. Sometimes you don't make the right one. Sometimes you do, but you just don't follow through on all of it, and it becomes a complete disaster. Now, I'm not saying this is going to become a complete disaster, but because I didn't push against those little registration nubs, I'm going to have to reach down and pull the logs from one side to the other as it gets lighter, because it's going to slam into the side of the saw. As you've seen over the years, being in the military for 23 years, making decisions day in, day out doesn't mean I always make the right decision. Like this right here, I kept having to mess with this when I knew I should have just pushed that log against the registration nubs, but I finally do it, and as you can see, it runs a lot better. Sometimes you just need to slow down, think about what you're doing, and problem solve. Strangely, when I hit the same area on this log, my saw keeps bogging down and I don't know why. So I bring out my metal detector just to see if there's any metal in there. And although it didn't register, I can see some black areas that looks like it was peppered by a shotgun. So I've started taking off dimensional lumber in here, and you can see this stuff. I mean, you can see it right now. It's beautiful wood. I don't know if it's going to cup. I don't know if it's going to warp. I don't know anything. I don't kiln dry my wood, so it'll sit out under my shed for about 18 months, and then when I come back, we'll see how it did. I usually strap them down with a ratchet strap, and that's about it. This is going to be the last cut I make on this log, and I've cut these at 1.5 inches thick, but the last one's going to be about 2 inches thick. But what I want to do now is show you what I got from this log. The lumber's absolutely incredible, so let's go ahead and check it out. All these boards right here, the first 5, I'm going to use to make charcuterie boards during Christmas and get those out. I can dry those fairly quickly in the shop. But these boards right here are just beautiful boards. Look at those. The final bit of lumber is right here. I've got these 5 other boards that I can be able to make something beautiful out of, and I'm excited about this log, I'll tell you that. But yeah, I got a lot more wood than I thought I would out of it, and you can see it stacked up under my shed right there. What I'll do is take some ratchet straps, and we'll go ahead and ratchet strap that down to the block, and it'll keep it flat and keep it beautiful. All right, that's it. That's the video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you could, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, and until next video, stay cool.